Environmental organizations are one of the biggest thorns in the flesh of literally anyone trying to further create infrastructure. They bog you down with new bills and acts and so much of regulation. You'd wonder how they can print so much paper and still be carbon neutral. It's all a big joke to them, their own wastage. Understand, most of these people don't count an expense if mommy or daddy won't just pay for it because they have had it paid for them by mommy or daddy already. That's why they don't actually fight for a noble cause. They just pick the cause with the least amount of potential conflict. It is their charity after all. They do need to feel good. Everyone knows giving back feels good, only in between the glass though. I think it's time conservatives are open at least with the statistics of their giving nature and charity. Show the public an alternate reality besides a camera in front of hungry faces. We all know who loves doing this all too well. They the ones that will send fake protesters and organize fake genesis. It's pretty standard for those that know though. If you want anyone of substance down in the construction space, you need the environmental mafia on deck. This needs to be fixed. They cannot run rampant blocking and denying projects as they see fit with the help of their Robin sidekick media branches. It really isn't a cool look, especially when the conservatives have sided with the Robin Hoods of media, the ones that give back more than they get and never take. I think the warnings have been voiced, the writing has been on the wall, but it's too late. Liberal media, their lies, misinformation, and questionable agendas have become too much for the whole world. No one trusts what they say anymore, and too much of journalists' personal opinions are being broadcast on public airwaves, not just wasting taxpayer money, but illegally engaging in hate speech and prejudice as well as inciting violence. It is really disgusting behavior, which is why they build their own news to hang themselves. No one even feels sorry for them, they deserve it. People know where to be informed. There is a beacon out there. It's just for all hands to be on deck when aiding adoption. This is the thing about Donald Trump. All these ideas, and there are a bunch of them, are from him. Anyone can give you an AK, not many will teach you how to shoot, but very few will see you after you shoot. Trust me, I know. This man doesn't just lead by action in his own country, he aids other countries first-hand policy advisor. Literally no other president would ever do that in an unbiased manner, not even the ones we sanctify, yet the media demonize Trump. Liberal media is so out of touch with reality they contradict themselves. This even extends to the cultural movement. A good example would be Drake. I definitely want to do a season on Drake, that's for sure. But in due course, I feel like he has definitely been a victim of the liberal agenda. I think I've went over the survive and thrive thing. He's a true master, real apex predator, and actually multi-champ status, which is why I think Castle Lite should unlock Drake. The whole thing with Kendrick and Future, as a Future fan, was just a joke. Drake literally won the rap beef hands down on 10 and again by himself on his own square. I don't see how Kendrick dancing with his family in a fake living room was a dub, but that just goes to show you how fake the liberal media tree is. I think the whole idea of Drake being a culture vulture is rubbish. It's a joke. The man puts a whole genre on in exchange for influence. That artist makes that deal and is surely paid in kind. As always though, it's the ones that are left out that have the most to say. Airless Bubbles is all, if we're being honest. I'd love to have Drake here, give him the space to go in full album mode. We can give him the full cultural tour, take him in the real sections with real gangsters, super safe. Even in the jail around the real robbers and murderers, again, super safe. Let him come to the luxury and experience the Kasi. I want to hear what he comes up with. I think the whole culture would. Drake needs a two-sided album like this anyway, Scorpion style. I'm saying SA Hip Hop and I'm a Piano Drake. I think KO should hop on No Face. I think Drake should hop on King Size. I want to see something. Let's cook. If you're saying Castle unlocks Drake, then why not AI Keenan, aka Forbes, the Scanner God, Mr. Cash Time, KO himself, Drake headlining that show? Can we also not put together Real Madrid and Pirates game? I think if the UFC are open to the Bernabeu, then why not one of our stadiums? They are world class. Even if UFC Africa gets done in an arena, the gates and pay-per-view buys you would make of road tours, press conferences, and related events, excluding merchandise sales, would be through the roof. Firstly, ticket sales for a small arena would be higher in price per ticket, therefore higher revenue. It's the first UFC in Africa. If the UFC is able to package the whole event under the UFC Africa pay-per-view, I'm talking about like the Madrid and Pirates game, and then obviously the concerts and stuff like that, and then if everything leading up to it, it would definitely warrant the higher asking price pay-per-view wise, excluding local ticket sales, merchandise sales, pay-per-view buys. Let's also think about the NFT market. We know the gloves are already sold as NFTs with the smart chip, but I think there's a lot of untapped revenue here. I think so untapped revenue. Fighters should have their own NFT if they are in the top 10 of their weight class, and a separate NFT for the pound for pound rankings. We can call these cards. Anytime a fighter wins a match bonus, gets KO sub of the night, signs a brand deal, gets more hype, garners a following, gains a mass reaction, interaction, and does a crazy climb in the rankings like comes out, for instance, fighters and their own storylines, cultural relevance, and public perception all need to affect the value of the fighter's card, and also affect new fighter cards and new fighter styles and new fighter packs, depending on obviously collaboration with fellow UFC, WWE, and or popular personalities, brand deals, sponsorships, acts of goodwill, as well as other factors. The need for these to be traded in an open market is immense. If this can be accomplished, and we will be able to gauge public interest as well as cultural climates in real time. This is a necessary tool in aiding the prevention of misinformation, as well as ensuring that those paying an arm and a leg are served what they pay for, which is what they want. It's very rare to see such wins in matter of policy and enterprise. I say this for Gold Label because I do think the incorporation of a multilateral event shapes the date for a UFC Africa card to happen sooner.